Imagine being 70 years old. You've worked your entire life. You can't afford market rent. You need somewhere safe to live. The government finally decides to build housing specifically for seniors. Problem solved, right? Not exactly. Because as soon as the project is announced, local residents start protesting. They worry about parking, traffic, property prices, neighborhood character. And suddenly, a simple housing project becomes a political battle. So why does this happen over and over again in Australia? And what does it reveal about the country's housing crisis? Let's break it down. First, let's talk about something most people don't realize. Australia is aging fast. People are living longer. At the same time, birth rates are falling. That means a larger share of Australians are moving into retirement age, and many of them aren't wealthy. For decades, Australians were told, buy a home, pay it off, retire comfortably. But that model is breaking down. More Australians are reaching retirement while still renting. Others are divorced later in life. Some have little superannuation. Many women spend years out of the workforce raising children and have smaller retirement savings. As a result, homelessness among older Australians is rising, especially among women over 55. That's why governments are increasingly building housing specifically for seniors. Not because it's nice to have, because it's becoming necessary. Now here's where things get interesting. Almost everyone agrees Australia needs more housing until it's proposed near their house. Economists call this NIMBYism, not in my backyard. It's when people support new housing in theory, but oppose it in practice. And the reasons are usually predictable. People worry about more traffic, less parking, noise, crowding, property values. In Riverwood, some residents argued the new seniors' housing would change the character of the neighborhood. But here's the irony. This isn't a nightclub. It's housing for people aged 55 and above. Probably one of the quietest groups of residents you could possibly have. Yet opposition still emerged. Why? Because housing debates are rarely about the building itself. They're about perceived change. In this instance, because it is public housing. In addition, humans naturally resist change, especially when it affects where they live.